Good morning, students. So, today I'm going to deal this chapter number 19 in Father's Presence in English 2. So, before starting this chapter, as usual, first we take writer's part and then summary, then we will start this chapter reading. Okay? See this picture? This picture is related to R.K. Narayan. R.K. Narayan was born on 10th October 1906 and died on 13 May 2001. So R.K. Narayan, full name Rasipuram Krishnaswamy Iyer Narayan Swamy. So R.K. Narayan was an Indian writer known for his works set in the fiction South Indian town of Malgudi. His famous works include Swami and Friends and the English Teacher. The plot of Swami and Friends revolves around Swaminathan, the central protagonist, who initially is symbolic of the innocence of youth and all the mischievousness that childhood entails. Initially, Swami comes across as passive and timid. Yet in many a tale he attempts to play out childhood fantasies through reckless games and stunts. Narayan's mentor and friend Graham Greene was instrumental in getting publishers for Narayan's first 4 books, including the semi-autobiographical trilogy of Swami and Friends, The Bachelor of Art, and The English Teacher. The fictional town of Malgudi was first introduced in Swami and Friends. The Financial Expert was hailed as one of the most original works of 1951 and Sahitya Academy Award winner. The Guide was adapted for film, winning a Filmfare Award for Best Film and for Broadway. Narayan won numerous awards during the course of his literary career. His major award was in 1958, the Sahitya Academy Award for The Guide. He was nominated for the Nobel Prize in Literature multiple times but never won the honor. A year before his death in 2001, he was awarded India's second highest civilian honor, the Padma Vibhushan. So this is the little description of the writer R.K. Narayan. Summary of this chapter. Swaminathan sat in his father's room with a slate and pencil ready while father held the arithmetic book open. He dictated a sum and asked Swaminathan to solve it. He gazed at the sum every time he read it. It seemed to acquire a new meaning. His mouth began to water at the thought of the mangoes, and he asked his father if the mangoes were ripe. His father instructed him to do the sum first. After some times of grapple, Swami declared that he cannot do it. Father asked him the price of 10 mangoes. Without conviction, Swaminathan replied, 50 nanas. Then father further prompted him to tell the price for 4 mangoes, but Swaminathan found it impossible to answer that. Father took his ear and twisted it. Swaminathan could not decide whether he should add, subtract, multiply or divide. After half an hour of agony and some help from the father, he finally said that Krishna must pay 6 annas and burst into tears. So this is the summary. So the summary you have to write in your English 2 notebook. Now let's start from here. Time to read. Swaminathan sat in his father's room in a chair, with a slate in his hand and pencil ready. Father held the arithmetic open and dictated. Rama has 10 mangoes with which he wants to earn 15 annas. Krishna wants only 4 mangoes. How much will Krishna have to pay? Swaminathan gazed at this sum, and every time he tried, he read it, it seemed. Swaminathan sat in his father's room in a chair with a slate in his hand and pencil ready. Father held the arithmetic book open and dictated. Rama has 10 mangoes with which he wants to earn 15 annas. Krishna wants only 4 mangoes. How much will Krishna have to pay? Swaminathan gazed at this sum, and every time he read it, it seemed to acquire new meaning. He had the feeling of having stepped into a fearful maze. His mouth began to water at the thought of mangoes. He wondered what made Rama fix 15 annas for 10 mangoes. What kind of a man was Rama? Have you done the sum? Father asked, looking over the newspaper he was reading. Father, will you tell me if the mangoes were ripe? Father regarded him for a while and something a smile remarked. Do the sum first. I will tell you whether the fruits were ripe or not afterwards. Swaminathan felt utterly helpless. If only father would tell him whether Rama was trying to sell ripe fruits or unripe ones. Of what avail would it be to tell him afterwards? Father, I cannot do the sum, Swaminathan said, pushing away the slate. What is the matter with you? You can't solve a simple problem in simple proportion? We are not taught this kind of thing in our school. Get the slate here. I will make you give the answer now. Swaminathan waited with interest for the miracle to happen. Father studied the sum for a second and asked, what is the price of 10 mangoes? Swaminathan looked over the sum to find out which part of the sum contained an answer to this question. I don't know. You seem to be an extraordinary idiot. Now read the sum. Come on. How much does Rama expect for 10 mangoes? 15 annas, of course, Swaminathan thought. But how could that it be price? Just price? It was very well for Rama to expect it in his avarice. But was it the right price? If only he could get more light on this point. So students, rest of the story I will explain to you in next video. Okay. So from this line, and I am going to give you homework. So first of all, read the story by yourself. Okay. And then write the summary of this story. And the last, write the hard words. Okay, write the hard words and write the synonym of it also in your English 2 notebook. So here it is. Number 1, gazed means stare. Acquire, obtained. Acquire, obtained. Maze, patchwork. Here remarked. Remarked means to say something as a comment. Utterly, completely. Avail means benefit. And then after, proportion, ratio. Ratio, rate. Miracle, sight. And the last, averaged. Average means greed for wealth. Okay. Now till then, have a nice day.